Friends, welcome to Canada Week. Okay, I'm in Canada visiting Humidity again, and I'm with my girl Maddy. If you have seen our channel, you know we've done a lot of videos at this point.
We've done a lot of videos,
We've done a few. But Maddy works for Humidity, and we are doing a couple projects up here, but we want to take you behind the scenes because the automation that you have in place is very cool.
It's pretty fun, yeah. A little bit different than I think people think it happens.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive in and
I'm
show you all
super
the goodies.
excited. Well, and I think the other thing is I always want to show people how much effort it actually takes to bring a plant to market.
Yes.
That is the thing. When you go and you buy that plant, it has been touched by so many hands.
Yes.
And also some really beautiful automation that saves a lot of the backbreaking labor that's involved in plant propagation.
Yes.
So on and so forth. So without much further ado, we're going to take you back there for a very satisfying tour. Now, as a child of the 80s in the US, I grew up on a lot of public television. I watched a lot of Mr. Rogers when I was a kid. And they had this one montage where they visited a crayon factory and it would show them like pouring in the wax and then wrapping each crayon and then filling all of the boxes. And this is exactly what it reminded us of. I love this so much. It's so deeply satisfying. But the automation essentially starts here with these packs. And you have them all stacked here. Do they pre-fill with dirt or how does this work?
So what happens is these are our rocket liner trays. One gets dropped here. It will go down the conveyor belt through the machine here. It will get filled with soil and then it continues on into the sticking line.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And you guys are doing a special, a different type.
We are. So right now, these are our jetpack liners. So it's a bit of a smaller one. And these are Elo pots. So these are a different kind of pot. You can see that it has.
Oh, they're like a little tube.
They're a little tube. So this helps with certain plants just need a little bit of a tighter start. So this has the soil just a little bit snugger. So smaller plants can have a better start to life.
I mean, that is like, if you're doing propagation at home, like having really good soil contact is massively important, but certain things they're more finicky.
Yes.
Okay. And so this is being loaded by hand and we're going into the conveyor belts.
So you can see through back here that they're getting blown off with air and getting dusted off so that they have a nice clean tray on top. And then they get watered as you continue down the line.
Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Okay, and then how do you figure out which station it goes to? Does it split off automatically?
So the robots, so we have 3 sticky robots, and they are all way smarter than I am. So they know exactly where they're going and what they're doing. Typically, with our rocket liner trays, which are our 15 cell, these little spikes will also come down to pierce the top. So then they're
like a little dibber.
Yeah. But because these are a smaller tray, the process is just a little bit different.
Okay. Okay, let's zip you around the other side. So when we get down to this next few stations, there are 3 separate stations in play. Is that correct?
No, so they're all 3 the same.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's the same system, just running threefold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Okay, so if you come down here, these are the sticking robots. So these robots take each cutting, pick them up, and then stick them into the pot.
Now, this is really interesting. You guys have rooting hormone in there.
Yeah, so they do dip into rooting hormone first and then into the pot. And the robots have been trained on all of the different cuttings to know exactly how to handle them. Because some get a little bit gentler, some get double stuck. So there's this brain behind this is quite advanced, and the team has worked really hard on giving it all of this information.
Yeah. Now, who's in charge of actually taking all of these cuttings? Who's doing that?
So that's an entire team of people that are taking all these cuttings. I'll show you where we get most of our cuttings when we get to kind of the final product. You'd be surprised to know that a lot of the cuttings actually come off the baby plants, not the finished plants.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. So they're that kind of what we would refer to as a softwood cutting?
Some are softwood, and then we do have some hardwood cuttings as well. And those are a little bit of a different process, but for the softwood cuttings, this is what we're looking at.
Is there some sort of sensor that's in here that tells the robot where the cutting is?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's coming. This is wild. This is wild. And so it seems like they're laying this out in like a 3-across pattern.
They are. So they're keeping them spread out so the robot can see exactly where the cutting is and picking up properly. But you can see, like, they're not all facing the same way.
Yes.
They're a little bit scattered, but the robot knows exactly which angle to pick it up and stick it in.
This is wild. This is so amazing. Oh my gosh. So I was just asking Maddy, I was like, where are all these other trays going? And she said they make a little circle.
They do a little circle. So you can see this guy's going to come out, and the one that was over there is going in. And then a fresh tray will come and then take its place in the back there. So it just does a little loop.
And everything is perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Like these robots know exactly how much time it takes. Holy cow, that is crazy.
Okay, and then this part, of course, because no robot is perfect and we still need the human touch, it goes through human screening before it goes to the finish line.
This is amazing. And what he's doing is he's just firming everything down around all of those cuttings. So again, we've got really good contact with the soil. So a really fun thing that I actually get a lot of questions on, and this was something when I first started working in my industry, we weren't using this.
It is a relatively new thing, and not every nursery does it either.
Yeah, and what we have behind us is a giant pile of rice hulls. So this is that outer coating that would be on top of like a long grain rice or what have you.
Yeah.
But it has incredible moisture kind of like retention qualities.
Yeah.
Why else are we using this?
Weeds are a big thing. It keeps the weeds way down, and especially here where it's very, very moist, that is a big problem for us. So moisture retention and the weeds are our main 2 functions for rice hulls.
Perfect. Is this kind of a resource that is in, is this a readily available resource? Because I feel like we have an opportunity in our industry to do so many great things for the environment.
Yes.
And I feel like rice production worldwide is an incredible industry.
It is huge. And for consumers, I would say this isn't readily available. But for industry, this certainly is. These are, we use them, not every nursery does, but a lot do. So I would say 50-50.
Yeah, I'm starting to see this a lot more, even when I'm shopping at my commercial nurseries in Washington.
Yes.
Just more and more, we're seeing this come on the scene, and I think it's a really good solution. So one thing I'm noticing actually is these rice hulls are super, super light. And so after they come out, you give them a nice water as well. Is that to settle it in place, or what's the function?
Yeah, to keep them down, because a good stiff wind and they're gone. So this helps them just settle in before they go into the greenhouse. So they come out here, they get a little water, they come up the conveyor belt, and then they get put onto our rolling racks. So the rolling rack system is pretty cool. This was actually from the Netherlands. And this entire system is connected through all of our greenhouses inside and out. So we'll show you what that looks like. And how they move, because this is a little unique.
And it's just rolling on top of these bars, is that right?
That is correct, yeah. So the entire system is interconnected, so it can go vertically, but it can also go left and right. Wow. So we can get one rack from one end of the nursery to the other. And this is also where they add in the plant tags, so we know exactly what is and where it's going. All right, so after they get labeled and they get put onto a rolling rack, they get rolled all the way down here to this really nice, humid, warm house.
Oh my gosh, sweating, sweating.
It's hot. So they start here and they keep it super warm in here. And then they also mist water. So they're not doing any heavy watering because it could destroy these little baby plants that have just started. They don't even have roots yet. So they'll stay in here for a while until they start to develop a root structure, and then they'll get moved.
You know what's so funny? I just had a thought. I am literally standing in a humidity dome.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's hot.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so at home when you're doing seed starting, you put that humidity dome over top. We're in a massive humidity dome.
Yeah.
Do not recommend.
But if it's winter and you're looking for a warm place to hide, this is where I come.
This is it. This is it. Oh my gosh. So where did these babies go next?
Okay, so then we roll them to the next house. All right, so after they've established a nice little root structure, they get brought into a house that's not as hot, and then they start hardening off a little bit. So they stay in here for a bit, get a little bit more established, and you can see these guys are actually have a root.
Yeah.
They're in there.
Oh my God. Oh, beautiful roots.
They do. We'll actually go outside and look at some really beautiful roots.
Gorgeous.
These are still just starting, but
yeah,
we're gonna get something gorgeous out of these. And then they get rolled for anything that can be in the full sun. We'll get rolled outside so they can get fully hardened off.
And by the way, if you want to know how easily they can just roll this whole thing outside, you guys, look at this. Those people in the Netherlands, you guys are geniuses. And this, by the way, for anyone at home, this is hydrangea flare, which is such a beautiful upright paniculata hydrangea. Love this variety.
All right, so once they get all finished inside, they get brought out. These are actually have been placed on the ground, but you can see that this rolling system does continue all the way out and all the way down. So all of these plants are easily transported in and out. And I want to talk to you about our trays. So the trays are actually quite unique to us. They were designed here on site. And if you look at the plant, you can see that there's these ridges. So how this was designed is so the root structure has these up and down ridges so they're not spiraling at the bottom. And what this does is essentially creates an entirely potless plant.
That's so genius. I mean, these channels are so perfect because I think once you get a plant that is spiraling, you've got to like rip that whole thing off. And if you've got thousands of them to contend with, that's kind of a recipe for disaster. These are so smart and also reusable.
Reusable, yeah. So
thank goodness. Oh my gosh, I'm done with all this plastic waste. We have so much in our industry. And so the fact that you can reuse these hundreds of times.
Oh yeah, we call them a lifetime tray. We have yet to throw any out unless they're actually broken. If they're broken, they do get recycled, but so far, these So these trays have been going for quite a while, and then they get sanitized and washed when they're finished and get put back into production.
That's so amazing. That is so amazing. It's these little steps that actually it makes our industry what it is because you're like putting your money where your mouth is.
Exactly. And it's also a really cool system for other growers. So when they receive this plant, there's no pot, which saves them a step on the potting line. So instead of spending hours taking pots off every single plant, they just take the box, plop it down. Okay, we can go. Let's do it. Like, it's super fast. It saves hours on the other end.
So are they shipping bare root in boxes?
Yes. Yeah. So we ship completely potless.
Okay. Can we show people the boxes that you're shipping in?
Yeah, we'll show you guys the boxes. This is also something that was designed here on site. So the boxes were designed to hold these and hold water. And they're also recyclable. Yeah, so they can stay in there for weeks if you need to. Sometimes you show up and the plants need to sit there for a minute because it's spring. Nobody has time to be doing potting right now. So they can just get thrown in the greenhouse. They can be watered in there, all good. They can stay there for a couple weeks until they have time to get potted.
I had no idea. This is super amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we need to show people that next. Okay, this is not running right now, but we found the dishwasher. This is so smart. Holy cow. And so you basically, do you load them one at a time? Are they hand loaded?
They're hand loaded.
Okay.
And then they come through here, they get cleaned, they get sanitized. And then on the other end, they get stacked back up to be reused again.
I love this. And do they automatically stack?
They do automatically stack.
That is so awesome.
Oh, there you go. Here we go.
Okay, so this is what you guys were talking about, where literally you're recycling all of your plastics, and these go in essentially as, they're not even bare root, they're soil, they're bound in with soil.
Yeah, so the roots essentially create the pot, which is so cool. And then they go into this box, which has a little bit of water resistance in it.
Okay.
So they can ship and they'll be happy in there. They can also be watered in there.
That is amazing. So that can efficiently hold water.
Yeah.
And in terms of watering them, it has a little bit of, I noticed a little bit of a coating to it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, and then they roll down and then they get stacked. So you can see these little tabs that are on the top. Those fit into each other. So these can be stacked on pallets and then shipped out just like that.
So friends, you know that this is a pallet that is so dreamy for me, but this is basically the guys stack everything up. How high do they go? Do they go 6 high, 5 high?
They go, well, it depends on the truck. So depending on how high they can go, but typically we're looking at this height, if not taller. And what's really cool about these things here is they actually drop down. So the guys aren't trying to heft things above their head. They'll just,
seriously?
Yeah, so then they can just keep stacking as they go.
Did you see this down here? So the floor, it actually will drop the entire pallet down. So it's more ergonomic for all of these super hard workers. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is the full circle. And then from this point, where do they go? Do you have a shipping dock that they head off to?
Yeah, so they get all wrapped up and then they get put on a truck and delivered all over North America.
Amazing. And these are growing, basically, you guys take them to this stage.
Yes.
And then you have growers throughout North America that take it to the finished product that actually people can go to the store and buy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so these little guys will get planted in typically a 2-gallon pot. And then they get grown on, depending on the variety, for about a year. And then they end up in your garden center.
Oh my gosh. This is so fun. Maddie, this is so fun. I mean, I kind of knew that like this approximately happened.
Yes.
But as a woman who touches so many of these plants, it's so fun to see not only the hard work that goes into it, the automation, the kind of considerate quality that you guys have put into not only environmental resources, but your actual workers that are here. It's just, it's such a joy. It's such a joy. This was the best tour. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming along.
Oh my gosh. And we'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, I hope this is endlessly inspiring. Get out there and say hello to your garden for me. Bye.